Either way. Yeah, hello, my name's Elizabeth, but you can call me Liz, and in today's video, we're just gonna be talking about the Midnight Occult Silvers. We're just gonna be talking about the Midnight Occult Civil Servants, so if you want to see that, keep on watching, but first, let's get it.
Do this shit until they murder me.
As I said, today we're going to be talking about the Midnight Occult Civil Servants. I don't know why it's so hard to talk about, say civil, like civil. Also, it's such a mouthful, but we're going to be talking about that one. I tried my best to emulate Kohaku / Webe Coyote's vibes. I put gold on my eyes because my eyes aren't naturally amber color, but yeah, the gold. I tried, okay? I don't have long indigo hair. I wish I did because I think that would look cool, but yeah. So before I say anything, spoiler alert, because I'm going to be talking about characters, synopsis, and all that jazz. So if you don't want to hear that and just see it for yourself, comment down below what was your favorite scene. And see ya. Alright, so name is Midnight Occult Civil Servants. The Japanese name, and I sincerely apologize because I do not speak Japanese, is Mayonaka no Occult Commune. Something like that, something like this. So it aired between April 2019 to June 2019, making it a spring 2019 anime. It's supernatural, it is fantasy, it is mystery. The theme is demons, obviously. It is a shoujo anime. It is 12 episodes, each episode being about 23 minutes long, around there. And the studio, if you care, is Liden Films. And it's currently available both on Funimation and Crunchyroll as of this video being filmed. I'm mostly gonna be talking about the Nighttime Regional Relations Division and/or the Nocturnal Communications Relations Division. Try saying that 4 times. But they're all part of a civil servant type of thing. So you have lawyers, you also have the nighttime division, nocturnal division. I think from now on I'm just going to be referring to the nighttime regional relations. So they're mostly going to be talking about that specific division because that's the division we mostly are with, as well as one another. So another in this particular story, I guess, in this particular world, is kind of like the umbrella term for like any demon, yokai, kyoketsuki, vampire, tengu, angel, fairy. They're all anothers. That's just like the umbrella term that this particular world uses. They also like say specifically like Kyokatsuki, the Tengu, but they're all like another. We have humans and we have anothers. Those are basically our two characters, our two groups. So of the Nocturnal Communications Division, we have Arata Miyako. He is the main character. He is also voiced by Fukuyama Jun, who has been Yukio, Goro Sensei, King. So when talking about Arata Miyako, we have to talk about his ancestor, Abe no Semi. So Abe no Semi was this really famous exorcist that all the another kind of like remember. He's very, very famous in this world. Arata Miyako, on the other hand, growing up, like he heard like, oh yeah, one of your ancestors was like so famous. Oh my god, he like saw A, B, C, and D. He was an exorcist and this and that. But like Arata Miyako was like 7. He's like, cool, grandpa. Nice. Like, cool. And he didn't really pay any attention. It wasn't until he started working at this division that he was like, oh, my ancestor was this famous. And he, Arata Miyako, inherited Abe no Semi's special power called the Ears of Sand. And I will elaborate more on that later. So he's about 23 years old, took the Zivo exam. This is his first day, first episode. It's his first day at the nighttime regional relations. Next, we have Reggie Sanda, who is voiced by Yusa Koji, who has been Johan in the case study of Vanitas. So Reggie Sanda is basically kind of like the boss of this division. He joined around the same time as Theo/Thale. And yeah, he's just a boss. He's pretty laid back. He's like, he lets him do whatever as long as he doesn't know. So it's like one of those things where it's like, I know what you did, but I don't know what you did, just in case the other divisions ask him. Then we have Kyochi Sekaki, who is voiced by Maeno Tomaki, who has been Shu Kyoga and Star Mew. So he's basically, if Reggie Santa is like the boss, Kyochi Sekaki is like the manager. He's basically like the shift leader, the manager. He was a former host. When he was younger, both him and his sister were orphaned. But about like a couple of years later, his sister was abducted by another, which like when he was like 7. And he didn't know this was another, but she was abducted by another, and he's been, living like without his sister for a really long time. And he became a very famous host. Reggie Senda realized hey, he has potential, and invited him to join this division. He has a very love-hate relationship with another's just because his sister was kidnapped by another for a really long time. And then we have Himuseka Teo or Himuseka Zeo. They really changed his name around. They say Sale, but I think it's Theo, but it's Sale. He is voiced by Irino Miyu, who has been Shuga Wadakoshi from Haikyuu. Basically, Sale is half British. He is a descendant of the Himitsuka clan. He basically, his family has this kind of blood of a witch called, I believe the witch is called Kokichi. Despite his very young looks, he is actually 38 years old, and he is also known to be a really great inventor. Both Sekaki Kyochi and Himizuka Seo and Arata Miyako, they are able to see another okay. The only one who has more of trouble seeing another is Reggie Sanda. And then we'll talk about my dear favorite ancestor, and the only another in this particular thing that I want to talk about is Huehuelcoyotl or Kohaku. So he's basically an Aztec god of music, dance, festivities, but he's also the god of mischief and evil, making people fight. So people normally have a very love-hate relationship because Kohaku is very laid back, and he doesn't really help people when they're in trouble. He enjoys causing mischief and stuff like that. He is voiced by Toki Sunichi, who has been Hanamiya Kazutara in Tokyo Revengers. Also, Kohaku knew about Abe no Semi, and Abe no Semi was the one who gave Kohaku the name Kohaku. Obviously, there's a bunch of other characters, just like in another anime. They have you have other characters from the other divisions, because they're not the only division, they're just the Shinjuku division. So obviously you have others from other parts of Japan. You also have the anothers. Now on to the synopsis. Alright, when I tell you, this anime goes from 0 to 100 towards the end, I was like, what the heck is happening? It's not as bad as The Legend of Exorcism, where it's just you get introduced and bam, we're already in war. No, this is not as bad as that one. This is more okay, you get to know them, you get to see their relationship with another, how they work, and then poof, and it's what the heck? By the end of episode 12, I was bawling my eyes out. Bawling. I was crying so hard I couldn't breathe. It was just so emotional. Okay, episode 1. It's Miyako's first day at this division. He's he doesn't really know what he signed up for. He just took the exam, he passed it, he was assigned to this Shinjuku division. Now, it's his first day. He meets Reggie Sanda, Kyochi Sekaki, and Himezuku Seo. So he meets the four of them. They're like, okay, let's get to work. They all go to this like Shinjuku Imperial Garden because a lot of the things that happen in this world happen in that particular like park slash garden. It's very, very big. They heard that, hey, like another, he doesn't know this, that it's another. So some another has been causing trouble. So they're just gonna go check it out, like see what they can do, see what's happening. So Miyako goes. He doesn't know shit. He doesn't know what's happening. All of a sudden, Zeo with his little spray can, he literally just sprays, and Miyako, literally, from seeing nothing in the bushes, after the spray, he sees little like fairies, 3 of them. Also, these fairies, you see them throughout the whole anime. So these 3 fairies, he sees these 3 fairies. He's like, am I seeing this correctly? And he's like, wait, what are we talking about? What's happening? And then they basically tell them, so this division, yeah, we get called out when basically the regular people, the regular cops, the regular civil servants, they don't really know what's happening. When it's about the unknown, the Shinjuku, specifically in Shinjuku, gets called out to these types of cases. And he's like, okay. Like, he just goes with it, but he's very panicked because, like, all of a sudden, all of these, like, fairy tales, everything just comes to life. Remember how I told you that Miyako inherited from Habe no Semi the ears of sand? He hears these little fairies arguing. Later, when they're, like, doing, like, trying to see what else is there, he hears a specific tengu called Yotsuya Torabu and a specific angel called Adiel talking. And he hears them. They're like far away. He's like hearing them. He's like, huh. They're talking about eloping. These 2 have fallen in love. The Tengu is the head of the Tengus. Adiel is the freaking sister of the head of the angels. It's a fucking war. Like, the angels think that the Tengu is like kidnapping him. The Tengu think that she's gonna hurt him. It's a freaking war. Episode 1 and episode 2, I believe, is a freaking war. Because all of a sudden, these 2, they're in love. They're lovebirds. They're about to elope. They're eloping. And then all of a sudden, the rest of the division just hears, like, sees all these Tengu, all these angels about to beat the of each other. Because they're angry. They don't know, like, what's happening. They just think, like, hey, she's gonna get kidnapped. Or he's gonna get hurt. So they all meet, eventually, it climaxes into, they eventually meet into this building. And all of them, they're like, the division is like, oh my god, what can we do? They're gonna cause a ruckus within, like, the human world. They're already doing that, like, because the humans can't see anything. They just hear. They just see things being done. They just see A, B, C, and D. So obviously the division has to do something in order to, like, keep them more or less a secret from the humans. And they're thinking, okay, we can maybe drop like this sleep bomb, we can do A, B, C, and D. And Miyako surprises everyone, and everyone, like, basically figures out he has the ears of sand. Because he's literally, like, goes up to the Tengu, goes up to the angels, and he's like, no, it's just a misunderstanding. They're in love. They want to elope. Please do not fight. So he becomes a sort of a mediator between the 2. Now, the head of the Tengu, he's like, Abe no Semi. Welcome, Abe no Semi. Like, it's so, like, he's greeting an old friend. Obviously, Miyako is like, okay, whatever. I'm not Abe no Semi, I'm Miyako, but sure. He's heard the name before, but he's like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, everyone knows that he has the ears of sand. Because, like, to them, to the rest of the division, it just hears, like, nah, 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 nah. They see their mouths moving, but it's like, they can't understand it. Miyako understands it. And because he has his ears of sand, sometimes it becomes a lot easier to relate to something when you can understand them. So he is able to understand the another. So he's able to more or less relate to them. While the other people in the other divisions and the Shinjuku division, they don't understand. So they're like, they could be threatening me for all they know. I don't want to say an issue, but a thing where it's like, people keep telling Miyako, like, hey, just because you can understand them doesn't mean that they're good. The another are not good. They're another. And Miyako doesn't understand because he can understand them. So he's like, no, they're chill. They're good. They're okay. So basically, the Tango and the angels, they go back. they're not happy that these two are in love, but they're like, go back. Everyone finds out that Miyako has the ears of sand, and throughout the rest of the anime, we just see him like, first of all, he figures out like Bebe Coyote is like Kohaku because he remembers from these stories that his grandpa used to tell him about his ancestor Abenosemi, and he's like, oh yeah, Kohaku is like, call me by my name, because he thinks that Abenosemi is Miyako, even though they're like two completely different people, probably. But he thinks because they look so alike, they like are so alike, and they can hear him. So he's like, if you don't want me to hurt A, B, C, or D, call me by my name. And because Miyako has been hearing all these stories about his ancestor, he's like, you are Kohaku because of your eyes. Literally, Kohaku means amber in Japanese. So he's like, yes, I will not hurt you. And Uwe Coyote or Kohaku is seen like protecting Miyako and only Miyako. He only cares about that. But he's also like the god of mischief, so he's like just sitting around chilling. And then throughout just the rest, we just see him meet another and slowly just like build relations with them and like also fight with other divisions. Because like I said, he can hear them, he can understand them, so he believes that they are good. Other divisions may not hold the same beliefs because people in other divisions may have had something similar to like how Kyochi had his sister stolen. In the end, his sister comes back to him, but she's the same age as she was when she was stolen, which means she is still 17. He was 7, he's now like 34. So everyone assumes it's just his younger sister. So she gets him back, and he's more or less, he has a better relation with another cause of Miyako. And Miyako is like sort of like the mediator between the another and the people. Now, that's all fine and dandy up until episode 10 or 11. Now, towards the end, we find out that both Reiji Senda and Seo have known each other for a really long time. They're like, kind of like, think of like, maybe college buddies or like stuff like that, or people you meet in your early 20s. Though, he's half British. He's like, from this clan. He has the witch's blood. He has blah, blah, blah. He, wants to know more, so he goes to this temple. In this temple, he meets Reiji Senda. They both go through this like, kind of like, I don't say they get kidnapped by another, but they're like the only ones who can't escape this another's realm sort of thing. And they basically do it because like he's like, I want this removed. You're people who can grab this and remove it from like his realm. He does. Reiji Senda can't really see or hear them, but he is not afraid of them. Seo, with that clan blood and witch's blood, is able to be the eyes of Senda, and they remove this thing from the temple. Now, near the temple, there's this vampire known as the last vampire in Japan. Seo every year goes and visits Reiji Senda's house, and every year he tries to get closer. He tries to like befriend the vampire, but he's not very sure how to befriend the vampire without the vampire being freaked out and like scared of him. So every year he tries to go. However, remember how I told you that Seo is a very great inventor? So he invented some stuff that was very hurtful to the another. Because he was young, he was just like trying to do his job. But after meeting freaking Miyako, he becomes a little wary of the another's feelings, I guess you could say. But back when he was younger, he did all these inventions and he beat this one guy. Now this one guy wanted to surpass Seo in inventions and like A, B, C, and D. So he tortured another. Seo found out about this and got his ass kicked out of like where they were working. Now this person isn't really happy because he stopped his research. He got him kicked out. He's very angry towards Seo. Now, I don't know how he found out that Seo is really like, he wants to be friends with the vampire. So this man goes to the vampire, throws blood. The vampire who has been living peacefully, who has been like on a fucking vegetarian diet, who hasn't drank human blood, upon seeing all this fucking bucket full of blood, like obviously he's gonna go freaking berserk. So he goes berserk, goes to Shinjuku because he figures that if there's anyone who can stop him, it's gonna be Sale. Now, for these particular vampires in Japan, they're very interesting in the sense that all of them are males. That is, until basically kind of like a heat stirs up, and some of them are able to become females, and that's how they were repopulating their population. However, this last male vampire is a male. He wasn't able to repopulate because there's no one else in Japan. Like, there's literally no other vampires. So he was like, okay. As they drink more and more human blood, they slowly become female. So this male vampire that Seo admired, loved for many years, slowly as he's drinking blood, he can't stop himself, he hates himself, he turns into a female. And he keeps leaving like these little traces for Seo to find him, because like the vampire wants Seo to find him, because that's like the only thing. Because he was like, oh, I'm such a coward, I wish I could also, you know, talk to you, interact with you, I know you're not a bad human, you know, A, B, C, and D. Towards like literally the last episode, had me bawling, crying. Towards the end, we literally see this dude being like, this is the final showdown. Like, this is what I was waiting for. Seeing your beloved drink your blood and kill you. That's what his, like, thing was. Like, the other dude, that was what his, like, final plan was. Like, seeing his beloved kill him. Kill Seo. We see he has fully turned into a female, which means that this vampire has drank a lot of humans and killed a lot of humans. Sale, because he's been like so fascinated and wanting to be his friend, doesn't want to kill him. The vampire, if there's anyone that has to kill him, he wants it to be Sale. In the end, Sale stabs the vampire, and the vampire tells Sale, Sakura, I want my name to be Sakura. Because, like, they never even interacted. They never said hello. They never said my name is blah, blah, blah. Seo never knew, like, this vampire's name. And it wasn't until, like, the end when he's, like, literally, like, wasting away. Miyako's like, Sakura. He wants you to call him Sakura, and he wants you to bury him in his house where all his other vampire friends are buried under the cherry blossom trees. Okay. But yeah, I was crying by the end of it. I was like, I didn't expect it to go this way, and now I want a season 2. So I don't know how season 2 would pan out. Like, I want to read the manga, but I also don't want to read the manga because I'm gonna be heartbroken. Because I'm like, towards the end, you see basically Kyochi being with his sister, you know, towards like she's going back to school, having to live with that. You see Sale and Reggie Senda just looking very heartfelt, and you see Miyako living again with Yuki, his cat, and Kohaku. It's a lot of like his ancestor, but Miyako also has to prove he is Miyako and not Abe no Semi. Yes, Abe no Semi is his ancestor. Yes, he looks exactly like Abe no Semi. Yes, he inherited powers from Abe no Semi. But he is not Abe no Semi, so he has to make all the another realize I am Miyako and not Abe no Semi. Question. Okay, so if you haven't seen Midnight Occult Services, would you ever see it? And if you have, who's your favorite character? What's your favorite scene? Like, were you also crying like, oh, my heart got broken at the end. I didn't expect my heart to be broken in the end. I swear. I really recommend you watch this fucking anime. Like, it's so freaking cool. Like, I really like the concept. I don't want to say different because there's probably a lot of other anime like this, but it has bleak undertones. Yeah. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at me_GomezLiz. Comment, like, subscribe to my channel for more random shit, because that's what I'm here for, folks. And yeah, go watch Midnight Occult Civil Servants. Leave it down in the comments if you do. Leave it down what's your favorite character, favorite part. Did you also cry? And yeah, bye. Thanks for watching. See you.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.